Monday, March 5. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. It's election day in the constituency of St. Andrew Northwestern and the Norman Gardens Division in Kingston Eastern and Port Royal. Several schools were closed for the day as they are being used as polling stations for today's by-elections. In St. Andrew Northwestern, these include Meadowbrook Preparatory and High, the Salvation Army School for the Blind, Little Angels Basic, Morris Nib Preparatory, Gordon's Memorial Preparatory, Pembroke Hall High, and more. In the Norman Gardens Division, the schools which will be closed includes Dunoon Technical High, Norman Gardens Primary and Junior High, the Tutorial College, Vaz Preparatory, Wynwood Road Primary and Junior High, and others within the constituency. The People's National Party's Keisha Hale and the Jamaica Labour Party's Dr. Nigel Clark are vying to become the next Member of Parliament for the St. Andrew Northwestern, the seat left vacant by the retirement of long-standing MP Derek Smith. In the Norman Garden Division, it will be a battle between the JLP's Headley Wilson and Jacqueline Lewis of the PNP. They will be vying to succeed Angela Brown Burke, who last year vacated the municipal seat to contest and win the election for Parliament for the constituency of St. Andrew Southwestern. Voting began at 112 polling stations this morning in St. Andrew Northwestern and 52 polling stations in the Norman Gardens Division. The polls will close at 5 o'clock, after which the preliminary counting of the ballots will take place. The government will be reviewing its contributions to the University of Technology Jamaica, UTech, and the University of the West Indies, UWI, to tackle perceived inequalities in funding. The matter was raised at last week's sitting of Parliament's Standing Finance Committee. In terms of enrollment, UWI has approximately 13,000 students compared to 11,000 at UTech. Opposition spokesman on education Ronald Thwaites noted the enormous funding disparity between the two. He pointed out that in the budget for the next fiscal year, UWI will receive $8.7 billion while UTech will get just under $2 billion. Education Minister Ruel Reid agreed with his opposition counterpart's assessment. He blames the legacy arrangement which established UWI for the difference. Officials from the 33rd Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, member nations across the Americas are in Montego Bay, St. James today for the 35th session of the FAO Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean. The three-day meeting is expected to attract ministers of agriculture, social development, education, health and environment, and other high-level officials to discuss challenges and priority matters related to food and agriculture. FAO representative for Jamaica, the Bahamas, and Belize, Dr. Gillian Smith, said this year's staging is particularly important because the region is at a crossroads in terms of food security. The conference will also focus on four main areas: eradicating hunger, overweight and obesity, ending rural poverty, promoting climate-resilient and sustainable agriculture, and creating a new FAO to move towards achieving sustainable development goals. In regional news, CARICOM heads of government have deplored what they describe as significant, quote, reputational damage, end quote, inflicted on member states from their inclusion in the list of non-cooperative tax jurisdictions published by the European Union Council in December 2017, as well as other unilateral processes which label member states as tax havens. The heads of government in their communiqué at the end of last week's 29th intersessional conference noted that these actions are occurring outside of the established global inclusive processes which CARICOM states have endorsed and in which they continue to participate, often at significant cost, to advance the implementation of agreed international standards domestically. The heads said they recognized the need for member states to continue to ensure that they meet all requisite standards set by the globally recognized authorities in respect of global tax cooperation and related initiatives. Nevertheless, they denounced what they characterized as the unilateral processes underway in the European Union, describing it as detrimental to member states' economic progress and efforts to achieve sustainable development. The Haitian government has cancelled its participation in a high-level retreat on cholera in New York following the recall of its United Nations ambassador for consultations in protest over UN officials' remarks about oil loan corruption allegations. Hosted by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and his special envoy to Haiti, Josette Chérine, the overnight retreat at Green Tree in Long Island opened last week. The gathering involved some of the world's leading innovators in public health, finance, and business who discussed eradicating the deadly waterborne disease from Haiti. Several Haitian government ministers were scheduled to attend, along with Haitian President Jovenel Moïse, who was to give the keynote remarks along with Guterres at dinner on Wednesday and open and close Thursday's session. In sports, the Jamaica Football Federation have appointed Boys Town FC head coach Andrew Price as the assistant coach of Jamaica's senior national women's team, the Reggae Girls. Price, who is also the head coach of Jamaica's beach soccer team, will be in charge of preparing the local-based players for the upcoming 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup qualifiers. And that's the news. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. PBCJ's weather report. Thanks so much for staying with us. Let's start with our local currents. There is a high-pressure ridge across the Western Caribbean. We can expect a partly cloudy and cool conditions across the island today going into tomorrow. Let's start though with Kingston. Right now we're seeing temperature just at 26 degrees Celsius and some cloudy conditions. Forecast for today, humidity is at 51%. Over there in Montego Bay, St. James, we're seeing cloudy conditions but predominantly sunny skies. Windy conditions as well. We're seeing wind speed north-northeast at 15 kilometers per hour. We're seeing that the temperature is just about 25 degrees Celsius. Let's take a look at what's happening across the island today. We're looking at temperatures across the parishes between 24 and 29 degrees Celsius. We're also seeing a possibility of some scattered showers over there in Maypen, Clarendon. In our forecast for tomorrow, cloudy conditions in some areas, scattered showers across most parishes expected at some point tomorrow. We're also seeing temperatures between 26 and 28 degrees Celsius. In our forecast today for the Caribbean region, we're looking at cool temperatures between 22 and 31 degrees Celsius, with Mexico scoring the highest forecast temperature for today. We're seeing cloudy conditions across the region. Let's take a look at what's expected for tomorrow. We're seeing sunny skies in the western end of the Caribbean, but some cloudy conditions in the eastern areas. We're also seeing a forecast of scattered showers in St. George's and over there in Santo Domingo. Let's take a look at our travel planner for tomorrow. Those of you who are traveling to the United States, we're seeing that we could have some sunny skies in Los Angeles, rainfall for Miami, some cloudy conditions for New York. We're seeing a minimum temperature -1 degree Celsius in some areas, a high 25 degrees Celsius forecast for Miami. And that's it for the weather report. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.